What's going on, guys? My name is Renegade. Today we're here for AQW Q&A. This week we're going to be taking a look at your questions left on the last episode of this, as well as your questions you guys left in the Discord server I have. If you guys are interested, you guys can come join my Discord server. If you guys go to the link in the description, you can create an account or sign in or whatever via that link. You don't actually have to download the program. I noticed you can just run it in your browser, which is pretty good. So yeah, I've gone to my Discord server. You guys can come talk to me or my other friends or other people that are already in there. You guys can also leave your questions in the comment section down below if you want. So leave any questions you have for me for the next episode of this in the comment section down below. You can ask as many questions as you want. I'll just answer them all if you got some good questions in there. While you're down there, leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And other than that, we'll get into this week's questions. Alright, so our first question this week is coming from Pixel Speed 13, and they asked, how does AQW run so smoothly on high quality graphics for you? Any tips for an upcoming AQW YouTuber, and what is your most recommended set for a non-member? So how my AQW runs so smoothly is AQW essentially is a browser game, right? And browser games generally can't use your graphics horsepower, so your graphics card. And so you need a good CPU and you need RAM, pretty much, for a browser game to run well. Well, browser game like AQW, it's just Flash. I think other types of browser games can run with your GPU, but Flash games can't. And so how it works is you just need an expensive CPU and expensive RAM, pretty much, or just mainly an expensive CPU. So laptops generally don't have those. That's where laptops generally lack, is in the CPU side, although they can sometimes have good ones. You just need an expensive laptop, or you need a desktop computer that has a modern-ish CPU. I have an i7-4770K, which is a fairly modern, but it's a really, really good CPU. It's generally considered one of the best, but it's you know, it's got some like newer models of it, I guess, out there. But yeah, no, the i7-4770K that I have is pretty much nearing the highest end of where you can potentially go with CPUs, so it's pretty expensive and it's pretty high end, but that's why my AQW runs so smoothly. And even then I still get a lot of lag because the game is just not designed very well to run on computers with no lag. It runs at like 24 frames per second or something like that. It's not very well made, but regardless, the second question is any tips for an upcoming AQW YouTuber? What I actually did with my YouTube channel to gain I guess notoriety, I guess is what you'd call it, not notoriety, what is it? Attention, I suppose, is I would make videos on stuff that people would be searching for. You gotta just make a video about something that someone would want to see. Like, there's no point making an AQW Let's Play because no one wants to see that. Like, there's nothing interesting about an AQW Let's Play, whereas people are interested in knowing stuff about the latest and greatest AQW news. Like, for example, I'd made AQW news because I thought people would be interested in what is upcoming in the community. It was actually a really easy series to make. I've obviously refined it since then, but when I first made it, all I needed to do was just go to the design notes, click record on my microphone, and start talking. But now I sort of have a bit more of a refined process than that, but generally that's how you can get attention on videos. Just make stuff on something someone would want to be searching for. And what is my most recommended set for a non-member? Unfortunately, I really don't have much experience in creating sets. I pretty much created my own set I have right now, like 2 years ago or something, when I got back into AQW, and I haven't changed it since. So yeah, I'm really not experienced. I apologize for that, but generally I don't know about sets. And at the end there, he said, "P.S. You're my favorite YouTuber," and that's much appreciated, dude. Thanks. Our next question is coming from Pure Parkour, and they asked, "Are you vegan?" And no, I'm not vegan. I do enjoy the meats of all kind. You know, the bacon, the pork. Actually, you know what? Pork is probably the best meat, but the thing is, pork can easily be bad. So I'm gonna go with chicken. I don't know. Bad chicken is better than bad pork, and mediocre chicken is better than mediocre pork. But really good pork is better than really good chicken. Chicken has like a cap of how good it can get, whereas pork is just like premium when it's good. Yeah, but I'm not vegan. Our next question is coming from Demon Bob, and they ask, do you think that AE should make less complex classes and or less flashy classes with old animations? I actually think the complete opposite. The reason why flashy classes with big animations are not frowned upon, I guess, hated, kind of, is because flash animations and like big stuff and stuff that moves a lot in game causes a lot of lag. It's just how Flash works. And so when they eventually perhaps move away from Flash, I think they mentioned it once, they were going to move away from it, it'd be really cool to see the game not laggy and to see how cool they could make animations. Obviously they have some talented animators over there. The animations for AQ3D is actually one of the more polished parts of the game rather. And so they're definitely capable of producing good animations, and so it'd be cool to see how that will play out once the server rewrite is done, or once they move away from Flash. In terms of less complex classes, you know what, I actually think the complete opposite. I think classes should be more complex, more depth to them, so they're more interesting and more fun to use. The thing is with classes right now is they come out and they're very boring, very mundane, just have different percentages on things rather than different like complete abilities and such that do different types of stuff to monsters. It's really vague, you know, but like I just want classes to be more complex, more unique, more fun to use, and I think making them less flashy and less complex is the complete opposite of that. So I actually completely disagree with that, making them less complex and less flashy. This next question is coming from Dwayne the Cock Johnson, and he asked, Q1, 8 or 9? Well, I personally prefer 9 just because it's bigger, and bigger is always better. Yeah. Okay, so our next question is coming from Nelgath911, and they asked, how do you occupy yourself in AQW when not farming for in-game items? I generally, basically all my gameplay in AQW right now is pretty much for my videos, and so if I'm not farming an item, for example, I farmed the Enchanted Nelgath Nation house for a video on it, and I have farmed various classes and such to make videos on them, but if it's not for a video, if it's not for something specifically for my YouTube channel, then I don't generally farm or play AQW all that much. So occupying myself in-game, it's not really the right question to ask. It's like, more, you should have asked, what do I do when I'm not farming in AQW? Because if I'm not doing something for a video in AQW, then I'm not in AQW. I don't like play it all the time at all. I very rarely will log on unless I'm doing a video. So yeah, I don't occupy myself in AQW when I'm not farming for in-game items. I just don't play it when I'm not farming for in-game items. So our next question is from Percy, and they asked, what did you start with YouTube? Sorry, I completely read that wrong. Why did you start with YouTube? So I wanted to start with YouTube originally because I sort of like the idea of entertaining people just in general. And I like the idea of engaging with a community. But I also was really inspired by YouTubers like Syndicate and who else did I watch back then? I actually can't remember. I think it was like PewDiePie a little bit. I used to watch a bit of PewDiePie. I sometimes still do because his videos are just generally funny. But like, I don't know. I just was inspired by just general YouTubers, and so I actually was making videos in like 2012, but like it was more casually. I didn't really have much of a schedule. I just sort of uploaded videos. Obviously they're really bad. I wouldn't render my videos at all, so I spent like 3 days uploading every single video. It's just ridiculous, but you know, I enjoyed myself when I was doing it. Didn't get any views or anything, but you know, I just like the idea of just talking and commentating and just making videos. I just really like the idea of that. This next question is coming from Dwayne the Cock Johnson, and he asked, question 1, who is better, NZ Gaming Nation or Prodigy Gaming? Well, I mean, I've been a fan of both these channels for quite a long time. They're both really big, really good channels. Like, they both have really quality content. I can't really make up my mind, to be honest. Like, just putting me on the spot here, I can't really make up my mind, so I'm actually gonna like call it even between them both. They both have a large amount of subs, but I thought I'd just like let you guys take a look at what their channels are like anyway. If you are into like gaming commentaries, they actually do very similar content to what I do. I took a lot of my inspiration from those two channels, NZ Gaming Nation and Prodigy Gaming. So if you want to go check out NZ Gaming Nation or Prodigy Gaming, I'll leave both those links in the description down below. Both really good channels. Highly recommended. Our next question is coming from Crispy Christian, and he asks, I don't know how you pronounce that actually. I'm going to have to follow Crispy Christian back up on that in the Discord server. By the way, these questions that look like a bit different to normal, they're on the Discord server, so you can actually join and leave questions there if you want. And he asked, why gonna collab with NZ Gammon Nation? I'm not sure what that channel is like. I haven't actually checked out NZ Gammon Nation. I'll leave the link to that in the description down below as well when I find it. I haven't actually seen that channel before. This next question is coming from Desert Wind, and they asked, when's are you gonna quit AQW and start your Minecraft Let's Play, bro? Honestly, my Minecraft Let's Play has been in the works for a long time. Yeah, no, it's really, I'm actually really looking forward to making my Minecraft Let's Play. Like, it's gonna be really good. I really can't wait for the Minecraft Let's Play to So next question's from Taylor521, and they asked, do you think AQ3D will flop on the full release? Here's the thing with AQ3D. In its current state, it has a couple of issues. I actually made a list somewhere. I'm gonna actually find that right now for you guys and read it out, because I made a list of stuff while I was playing the game. I got to like level 8 or something, and it took me like a couple of hours, and I noticed some small little issues. I'm just trying to find this. I made a list. Here we go. Okay. So, refine inventory management, make categories and searching like a thing, make menus and pop-ups much smaller on PC, but stay the size they are now for mobile, make all text and logos scale properly to the resolution of the game. For example, text shouldn't look fuzzy and grainy at 1080p. Add support for resolutions higher than 1080p, so I've got a 1440p monitor and I have to play it at 1080p, which looks gross. Also like wider aspect ratios and such, like 21:9 and all that. Make the A and D keys slow pan rather than jerk the camera angle around. Make a map for the teleport screen, and add a number to all the health and mana bars, so you're not like guessing how much health you're at. Increase the size of health and mana bars on PC, because they're like really small. And definitely don't allow players to teleport to areas they haven't already been to. For example, I was able to teleport to Doomwood and get 900 XP from talking to Artix when I was like in the process of doing quests that would give me like 150 XP. So it's just the balancing isn't like there. Just those issues, I think, is the main things I was noticing playing the game. Fixing all of that up would make the game much better, in my opinion. Obviously, some other issues people can probably find. And I obviously made that list. I think I made that list when I was like level 4 or something. So I think I encountered a couple of other issues I just didn't add there, but yeah, like it could flop on release, but I honestly don't see it flopping on release. I see it doing pretty well, is what I'd generally imagine it to do. I'd like to say that they would get a shock with the receivership, I guess, the reception of the game. I'd like to think that they would get a shock and quickly clean up their act and make the game a lot better and fix a lot of the issues that people are saying. They generally do listen to the community, so I really want that to happen. And not to make them feel bad or whatever, because the game is bad, but if the game does release with a lot of issues, then I hope that they realize and quickly fix them. So I don't think that it's going to flop, because I think they are the kind of company that would quickly scramble to fix all those sort of issues. So yeah, I'm gonna say no to your question. I don't think the game will flop. And our last question of the day is coming from Iasonus. I don't know. Either way, they asked, do you think Dragon Slayer General is worth farming for after the buffs? So the reason why Dragon Slayer General still isn't worth farming for, in my honest opinion, is because there still aren't dragons in the game. Dragons are a very small part of the game, and Dragon Slayer General is still a dragons class. They've made it a lot better against dragons, which I commend them for. But in terms of how good it is in like normal battles, it's really not viable at all. I don't think they buffed like small things. Really not a good class at all. Still, really quite a bad class. But I guess if you farm a lot of dragons and you fight dragons very, very frequently, then by all means, go ahead and farm for the class. It's worth it for you if you farm a lot of dragons, but if you don't, then it's not worth it at all. So yeah, that's about it for this week's episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. This is a bi-weekly series, so every 2 weeks is when I upload this. Remember to leave your questions in the comment section down below or in my Discord server. Link for my Discord server is down there as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.